This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, March 21st, 2024. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The Biden administration has finalized stringent new tailpipe emission rules that will force automakers to eliminate most of their gas-powered models by 2030. Ramsey Touchberry reports the new fleet-wide standards will start with vehicle model year 2027 and phase in gradually until fully implemented. Automakers will need to sell a majority of electric vehicles to comply with severe regulations on the emissions their fleets can produce. The American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers and the American Petroleum Institute have threatened legal action. Two former Biden family business associates testified that President Biden, his son Hunter, and his brother James lied when they claimed the president was not involved in their business deals dating back to his time as vice president. Susan Ferricchio reports the House's second public hearing of its impeachment inquiry into the president featured testimony from Tony Bobulinski and Jason Galanis. Galanis testified from prison, where he's serving an 11-year sentence on an unrelated securities fraud conviction. Both said they witnessed Biden's involvement in deals with China and Russia. Democrats say the hearing and the inquiry have not uncovered proof that Biden committed a crime. Police officers patrolling subway trains and National Guard soldiers inspecting bags have been added to combat crime, but some analysts call the moves in transit systems theater. Matt Delaney reports agencies in New York, Philadelphia, and Washington have implemented the measures, but some police analysts say criminals are clever enough to evade them. Several high-profile acts of violence at New York subway stations have left residents on edge. Police status showed crime on the subway was up 45% year over year in January, but down 13% in February after the New York Police Department added more than 1,000 officers to subway stations. The federal budget is headed for a world of pain in the coming decades, but things are looking a little better because of spending cuts signed into law last year. Stephen Dinan reports the Congressional Budget Office's long-term outlook shows already high spending will grow even more, powered by the government's promises of health care for seniors and individuals with disabilities. Meanwhile, tax revenue will remain steady at about the historical average. A key factor contributing to smaller projected deficits is a reduction in discretionary spending, stemming from the annual funding limits under the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. And finally, the U.S. intelligence community is ramping up work with technology companies ahead of the November elections as cybersecurity professionals search for new ways to combat foreign threats to the electoral system. Ryan Lovelace reports a raft of new artificial intelligence tools are fueling the changing threats to U.S. elections, and the intelligence community is finding partners to thwart foreign interference. The NSA and U.S. Cyber Command activated their election security group last year to mobilize information from planners and operations specialists to fight foreign threats to the voting process this year. The group is focused on foreign threats and leaves related domestic work to the FBI and Department of Homeland Security. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.